All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, May 26th. Hopefully, y'all are having a good Friday morning. Today, markets are off to a slightly green start with SPY up about $1 or about 0.25% as of right now. And this comes on mostly the NASDAQ in the large caps rallying like they have been every single day. NASDAQ currently up by 0.3%. Looking at the Qs specifically, this is trading at $340.75. Basically where we ended the day yesterday, a little bit higher, about $1. But looks like RSI is kind of neutral right now. We had core PCE coming in this morning, hotter than expected at 4.7% versus 4.6% expected and 4.6% for the month of March. And then the month-over-month reading, let's see where that is, ended up coming in at 0.4% versus 0.3% expected, up from 0.3% in March. And then the regular PCE, let's see if we can find 4.4% for April, the year-over-year reading, versus 4.2% last month. Versus 3.9% expected, and the month-over-month reading was 0.4% versus 0.4% expected, 0.1% for the month of March. So overall, pretty bad PCE reading, which ended up increasing the odds of raising rates at the next meeting on June 14th from 50% at close yesterday. Well, it was 60% almost, but now it's back to 52.8%. Yields are on the rise accordingly. You're seeing the 10-year currently at 3.8, the highest that we've seen it since the Silicon Valley Bank meltdown. And then the 2 years about the same. Currently, well, this is the 1 month actually. But the 2 years currently at 4.6, the highest that we saw since the Silicon Valley Bank collapse back in early March. So we're getting rates back up to where they were before everything started to kind of unwind. So it's a pretty dodgy place, but markets are still buying into all the mega caps. And it's kind of what we saw after the Silicon Valley Bank. So it's not too surprising that the markets are having this risk on behavior and buying into these big tech names. Let's see. Microsoft is down to 324.25. Markets are just about to open. There's the bell. Nvidia's down 0.3%, 0.5%. Amazon 1.3% to the upside. Yesterday we got that support at about 115, so that could be another support for today. And let's see, the Qs is at 341, up 0.35%. SPY up by 0.2% as of right now. And everything's looking neutral right off the bell. Both Qs and SPY at 50 for RSI as of right now. Good morning, Peter. Yeah, Nvidia's down the most in the big tech names, 0.9% as of right now, almost 1%. I'm kind of surprised to see it down at 375 and actually dropping. I was actually thinking of doing a put credit spread for Nvidia, assuming that it would stay above 375, but you're already getting there in the first 5 minutes of this market, so if the momentum starts to come on down, then definitely don't want to be on that trade. Let's see our leaders today. We got Amazon in the lead after yesterday's drop. Not too surprising. Tesla at 186. Kind of tempted to do a 188, 189 call credit spread, depending on how much it pays. Or sorry, I should say 187.50, 190, because they don't have $1 strike prices. Let's see, Tesla. The payout is only about 50 cents for 250 collateral, so not really a trade that's worth it. Good morning, Shabam. All right, yeah, it looks like tech is getting off to a green start for this first 5 minutes. Q's at 341. Finding support right at 50 RSI. Lots of volume coming in first 5 minutes, obviously. It is a Friday, so expect a lot of volatility in both directions. But let's see. Considering we're above 50 RSI and we kind of caught that support, looks like that could hang in there for today. And all the big names seem to be recovering. Even Microsoft was down this morning, back up. SPY is just above 416. It's a pretty important key level that we just ended up crossing. So next resistance is all the way at 417.50. 418.21 would be the big trigger today, I would think. We do have, I think, a more economic reports at 10 a.m. I believe the Michigan economic report's coming out, in about 30 minutes. So that could change us in the other direction. But I'm guessing this first 30 minutes, everything's looking pretty bullish so far. Especially with the NASDAQ. Even with rates up, you would expect NASDAQ to pull back, but the big names just don't want to give up just yet. IWM is the lagger today. The small caps only up by 0.2% as of right now. SPY is up 0.3%. The Dow is up relatively the same, 0.34%. And again, the Q's doing the best, 0.4% today. Had of the day in for me yesterday. I think I ended up taking like 100 profit. I did end up opening a couple of puts that are going against me at the moment just because NASDAQ is rallying. AMD 120 put and a Microsoft 315 put that are in the negative as of right now. But I think probably by next week, sometime in the middle of the week, that'll probably end up resolving, depending on how, this debt ceiling talks ends up going. And supposedly they're going to finish it today, but I think if we don't get a resolution by the end of today on the debt limit, markets could be kind of freaking out at around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Amazon is doing really well today, 1.5%. Actually, Tesla's doing the best, 1.8%, and retesting that 188 level again here. It really likes to gravitate towards that 188 level. But every time that it does, it usually ends up getting rejected. We did see a little bit of a pop above 190 to 192, but for the most part, we've just been sticking below it. Yeah, yesterday I think I took like a $30 loss on the scalping strategy that I did. And I only did it once yesterday. There wasn't really much of a pattern in terms of RSI yesterday, I don't think. Like we would go to about 60, come back to 40, back to 60, but most of the day we just kind of hung around. There was no real definitive pattern like you got the day before, where every time we would go to 50 RSI, we would sell off. Today, I would imagine probably every time we go back to 50 RSI, it might pop back off and go up if today is a bullish day. And it looks like kind of shaping up that way. I would like to see the small caps doing a little bit better, though, if we do want to get a good rally going today, especially with this 416 level. I would want to see the market breadth expand, but all of it's just going into the Qs. 0.6% today. Yeah, definitely looking bullish for the Qs. Bounced right at 50 RSI, now to 70. So that would have been an easy little scalp, but did not take that one. And then SPY's just above 416. Let's see. That's 66 on the RSI. So maybe we could take a scalp if SPY pulls back to 416. But yeah, they're definitely pumping it this morning. Oh, now IWM is actually participating a little bit in the rally. Up 0.3% from flat. RSI is at 58, so that's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can find a decent IWM put. Or IWM call, I should say. For today's expiration, they're going for 127 on the 174 call. We're at 60 on the RSI, so it is already kind of up there. Next resistance at 175.21 to 176.15. They already jumped 10 cents in price, so getting a little bit out of hand. Let me pull up the chart for it. Today's expiration 174 call. Yeah, those were just going for 113. Now they're 155. So the market breadth is kind of expanding with IWM now 0.6%, closing the gap between that and the Qs, up 0.75% today. So that's very, very bullish for SPY. If you see that continue. I'm not going to be one to chase it, so I'll wait on a pullback on IWM. Looks like Google's going in the red today. Google and Microsoft down slightly after yesterday's rally for the AI names. Not really much of a pullback, but there's something here. And Tesla now above that 188 level at 2% up today. Should have probably figured that Amazon would catch a bid at 115, and now it's up by 1.6. And as per usual, there's a couple names just leading the rally. Tesla and Amazon today, both up by 1.6 and 1.8. It's usually what happens. There's like two or three names that are up by a lot, like 2%. And that just continues to perpetuate the Qs up. All right, getting a little bit of a pullback on IWM. Also rejected by the 175.21 level. Let's see, these were going at the lowest at 115, now they're 150. I wouldn't want to get them for probably more than 130. I think that's a little bit high, especially at 150 right now. Second time testing that 175.21 level. Do I think SPY will get back to 419? The 418.21 level is going to be a decent test. I think that it's going to take the debt ceiling talks to be resolved if we want to get above 418.21. But, I mean, looking at momentum, it seems likely that we would get above that today. Just based on momentum. Yeah, SPY will react to debt talks. I would expect a positive reaction initially. Caused by FOMO and speculation, or do I believe AI has potential? I think that combination of both. I mean, AI does have a lot of potential to kind of reduce expenditures for companies and increase profits. But at the same time, you know, you're seeing NVIDIA up gaining $200 billion in market cap in a single day. It's a bit much. If you look at history and the dot-com bubble, like, yeah, there was a lot of companies that did end up surviving that. But many of those companies didn't get back to their all-time highs for decades. A good example would be Qualcomm back in 1999, 2000. Let's see. And this one didn't end up recovering from 2000 all the way to 2020. So definitely think there's a lot of hype going into it, just with Nvidia going up as much as it did. Granted, they did have, really good guidance at $11 billion in revenue for next quarter, which is 50% higher quarter over quarter. Whether they're actually able to attain that or not really sure. But if they were able to do that, then that would be pretty substantial. And that would probably substantiate that 25% rally. Even the Dow is doing pretty well today. So yeah, you're seeing finally good breath today. With the Dow up 0.7% at 330 for DIA. SPY's up 0.56. Q's up 0.8, and then IWM 0.3. So IWM, I think, has more to gain out of this. The 174 calls are going for 120 now. 118. So I'm thinking about picking those up. If this market breadth continues to expand, this would definitely help it out. Let's see where I put my stop loss. Well, probably at $1. They're going for $1.12. The bid ask on it is kind of wide, which is usually a concern with IWM and why I don't trade it a lot. Also thinking about taking a reversal trade for Qs with the what's it called? With the Michigan economic report coming out, that could cause a decent turnaround. Probably wouldn't go heavy into the position just because complete speculation. Don't know what the report's going to be. But it is up 0.9%, with the rest of the market up by about 0.6%. Overbought, obviously, at 76 RSI. And the 343 puts are going for $1.36. It's actually kind of expensive for the puts, I would think, since it's basically at the money at this point. $05.26. Might give it a few more minutes, just so you don't see a crazy rally going into the report and knocking these values down. But yeah, Microsoft's at 328, up 0.5%. Nvidia's back on the green, up 0.3. All the tech names doing really, really well today. Meta's making it into the 1%. All right. Do I trade credit spreads? Yeah, sometimes. Depends on, usually if I do a credit spread, it's like overnight, just to get a better credit, because if you do a same day expiration credit spread, usually they don't pay a lot. Let's see though. Discord. So I'm looking at the 343 puts on Qs. Of course, not logged in. $317, $305. Right now they're going for 125. Thinking about putting the stop loss at 1. Looking to buy 343 QQQ puts expiring today 526 with stop loss at 1. And I'm going to do that in the next 7 minutes before the report. Right now they're going for 125. Cheapest that they've gotten was 116. I think 125 is a pretty good price. Might be the best price we can get for right now. Yeah. Yep. I think I got them a little bit cheaper actually. 620 for 5, 124 each. But 5 at 124. Hopefully they don't sink the value of these too quick before this Michigan report. We still do got about 6 minutes, so if this momentum continues, that could put these at our stop loss pretty quick. Yeah, they're down to 113 already. A lot of volume going into this pump too. Ton of volume. More volume than we got the first 5 minutes. Super overbought. 70, 80 RSI. People are chasing the hell out of it. Which can't really blame them if it's up from 340 to 343 in 30 minutes. But that Michigan report could be a catalyst to flip everything around. Consumer sentiment in 5, yeah. Not buying puts till 418 for SPY. It's almost there. It's at 417. You got the 417.50 resistance and then that 418.21 fib level. They're just kind of freezing at this last few minutes. When is the best situation for a straddle? For an earnings like Nvidia, that would be a perfect strategy, a long straddle. But you need the stock to make a move in a really, really big way that's unexpected in order for that to be profitable. Nvidia was only expected to move 6% either direction for the earnings, but obviously it outperformed that and went up by 25%. So since it went up so much more than what was expected, that straddle would have been profitable. Thank you, Gloria. All right. 2 minutes to the Mish report. Let's go. My trade's back to break even. So this will be fun. Glad that I have my stop loss so low at 1, because I would have been stopped out if it was any higher. All right, Mish report in 4 seconds. Here we go. No reaction yet. All right, 59.2 versus 57.9, 55.5, 53.4 expected. So this looks like actually a pretty positive report. Knocking my trades at a loss. All right, let's see if I can get out of the decent price. They're going for 90. So passing up my stop loss. I'll try to get out at 90 if I can. They're definitely sinking the bid on me. Let's see. Go back to that report. And then the consumer inflation expectations dropped too. So yeah, overall very positive report. 64.9 for current conditions, 64.5 expected. Down from 68.2 last month, 59.2 for consumer sentiment, 57.9 expected. Down from 63.5, and then consumer expectations still dropped. So everything actually dropped besides the inflation expectations. Everything kind of came in worse than it was the month before. But initial reaction is positive to it. Yeah, so I'll stop out of this trade. Hopefully at a better price, but don't think I'll get much better. Put it in for 92. Filled at 93, I think. 46. 92, yeah. Closed at 92. So 124 minus 92, 32 times 5, 160 loss. So the reversal didn't play out there. Let's see for SPY and the other names. It actually looks like IWM reversed though. Interesting enough. SPY went to 417.50, got rejected a little bit higher. The Dow ended up coming down from it. Interesting. Bonds are catching a bit on it. Yeah, you're probably seeing the rates drop. Let's see, the 10-year TNX, where's it at? Oh, 10 years at 3.808, down from 3.83. So you're seeing a decent bid for bonds now that the consumer expects inflation to pull back a little bit. From 4.5 to 4.2% for the 1-year inflation expectations. For the 5-year, still 3.1% versus 3.2% expected, up from 3% last month. Yeah, AMD had 2 gap ups lately. It's actually doing better than Nvidia is today. It's up 1.8%. Nvidia's flat at the moment. And if you look at the daily chart, this is the second gap up in a row. And it didn't end up filling the gap down. Tried to. It almost got there, but didn't. RSI is super overbought at 80, but everybody's pumping into it. Probably seeing that it's going to do as well as Nvidia is, since that one went up 25% yesterday on earnings. Retesting 417.50 again on SPY. Overbought with 72 RSI. It's getting hard for it to push past that 417.50 level. It's looking like. But still very, very bullish. Nvidia's just kind of chilling out today. Kind of like yesterday, didn't really move much after earnings. Meta is pulling back here. Q's is up to 344 almost, 343.50. Man, it's really wanting me to take my profits on QQQX. This one's up 1% today. And it just keeps on going up. Actually, QQQX is peaked on 518, interesting enough. I guess they ended up getting called away on a bunch of cover calls, so lost some of the growth potential on the Qs. But yeah, all the big tech names in the green today. Not a single one of them is red. Crazy, crazy rally for Qs. $418.40 for SPY. I'm looking at $418.21, but yeah, pretty similar price target. Biden and McCarthy closer to debt ceiling resolution. Strong earnings. Nvidia, Marvel. Oh, Marvel. Yeah, I forgot about them. MRVL. They did pretty well on earnings yesterday. Whew, up 25% too. I think they had a mention of artificial intelligence. And of course, stock goes up like crazy. 25% today though. That's insane. I'm sure it was already up after Nvidia earnings too, but people are buying the chip names like there is no tomorrow. And like somebody said, SOX itself is up by 3% today. Like you would expect that at a SOX L, the triple leverage, but SOX L is up 9%. Jesus, man. I feel bad for anybody that was in SOX S before Nvidia. I was in SOX S, but I ended up getting out before that. I think a day before it hit 18, which is the day before earnings for Nvidia. Now it's down to $12, $12.83. We're still not really seeing market breadth expanding with IWM 0.5%. Considering Qs is up 1.2, Dow is up 0.8. So it's still not looking like a healthy rally. At least for SPY. Although Dow up 0.8% is actually pretty significant. Almost the highest that you've seen it in 2 days. Looking at the monthly chart though, comparing this to Qs, it looks awful. It's down from 342 at the highs to 330. Qs is the opposite. Down from lows at 315 to 343. So all the money is just going into the big names. Surprised that these puts are still going for 82 cents. I would have thought that they would have dropped more with that 80-cent pop. But yeah, AMD is just rallying off the back of Nvidia and now Marvel earnings. Even though AMD, if you read into their earnings report, they expect the revenue for next quarter to be the same that they did for the quarter before. Very, very strange. The different estimates we're getting for chips. How much profit do I average per week? Last month has been pretty bad for me, honestly. I've lost probably about 1,000 over the last month, but it really varies. It's not really consistent per se, so can't really give an average. Like back in February, I made like, God, what was it, like 1,600. March, April didn't really do much, and then this month I've lost about 1,000, so not really consistent, I would say, to where you could put an average per week. And there's strategies where you can kind of make it more average, I guess, but I'm more of a, I like to trade around volatility and big events, which, you know, they're very binary if you're trading earnings and stuff like that. But that's where the opportunity lies if you can guess it right. Yeah. Scalping strategy has been kind of hit or miss. That one definitely has a lower win rate than my credit spread strategies that I prefer for consistency. Damn, TLT is running. 101 almost. Spy back to 418 again. That 418.21 mark. I don't know if we're going to pass it, but we're right there. Right on the edge. Come on now. 418, 419 call credit spread's paying 43 cents right now. That's good credit. It's a lot of risk, but a good credit. Do I trade full time or have a day job? Just making money from the YouTube and then trading as well. Trading's my side income, I guess, with the YouTube being the consistent flatline income. It seems so easy to short SPY at 418. But that momentum is just killing it today. Usually on Fridays, you don't want to go against momentum because it can be pretty wild. Plotting on reversals has been whooping my ass, yeah. Betting on reversals is very, very difficult. Especially if you're doing it around like things like the Michigan Economic Report. Man, Tesla's at 190 now. Damn. Did not expect that one to happen today. My guess was that it would stay below 418, but yeah, everything's just kind of going up with Qs. I'm almost tempted to take some profits on my Tesla shares. $190 is very expensive for this markup. We still don't have any news on a debt ceiling solution, but we are above that 418.21 level, regardless of it. My guess, if we don't have a resolution by the end of the day, we're just going to reverse back below 418.21. Probably wouldn't put a lot of my money into that trade, but let's see. Put debit spread with 418, 419 strikes is going for 50 cents. Man, that's expensive. So you have about a 50-50, 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. And then if you do get the debt ceiling resolution, I would think that you would be above 418.21 today. It's obviously a binary event, and getting a 1-to-1 risk-reward is not good. How many Tesla shares do I have? 30, I think. Let's see. I have 5 shares in my Robinhood, and then Fidelity I have, I think, 25 shares. Usually whenever Tesla goes like to around 200, I'll take like 10% off the table. Yeah, 25 shares on Fidelity and then 5 shares to Robinhood for a total of 30. Q's up almost 1.5% today. Are we going to see a 2% rally today for Q's? Wouldn't be too surprised given that every big name is up. SPY's starting to slow down. No, spoke too soon. Still going higher. Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter yesterday. Tesla and Ford making a deal for the Chargers. It could be what's leading it up, but breaking that 188 level was important for one. And then the rest of the market is up a ton, so Tesla kind of amplifies whatever the market does. Tesla's kind of hard to give a reason on why they're going up or down each day. They always have a ton of news coming out on the company every single day. The VIX is down to 18, below 18, 1776. So we finally broke below 18 again. And as per usual, shorting VIX above 18 has been a good idea. Very bearish RSI though, 30. It doesn't usually go oversold too. So I wonder if we could see a rebound on the VIX by the end of the day maybe. Yeah, markets are just crazy today. Qs is at 345. Non-stop, baby. The party never ends on Qs. Back to overbought on the daily chart. Amazon's up 3% today. Damn. Yeah, that 115 support was really good yesterday. And it just launched it up today. But there's only 3 names that are up less than 1% today. 3 big names at least. Microsoft, Google, Nvidia. And Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia were the big gainers yesterday. So they're the laggers today. Yeah, trend will be your friend until it's not. Until you have any sort of catalyst that would send it the other way, I would think. But we are already seeing SPY up by 1%. Qs is up 1.5%, so you're buying kind of late into it. It's not to say that it can't continue, but a lot of risk in buying in now to the upside. Market breadth is expanding with IWM up 0.8%, 0.9% now. So that's good. That's what you want to see in a healthy rally, and that's why SPY is up so much at 1%. But you're still seeing Qs leading the rally. But it's good that the small caps are up today, and the Dow is up 1% too. Man, that is a huge hourly candle. The question is, when do we bump into resistance? So far, we haven't really had much today. And there's a lot of volume buying into it too. Maybe we can look at the laggers of today. Let's see, Google only up by 0.8%, almost to yesterday's high. We could assume a break of yesterday's high, maybe. Microsoft's at 329. Apple up 1.4%, so not really a lagger, but somewhere in the middle. Everything's just straight up and to the right today, though. So far this morning, at least. What was the last high that we had for SPY? 420.87 before. And we're only about $1.50 away. On a day like today, you would think that it would actually break that high. The VIX is down 9%. Even though we don't have news for the debt ceiling. That's kind of dodgy, but yeah, momentum is just crazy today. All right, we finally met a resistance at 419.40. But there's just so much FOMO, I feel like, going into this. Probably a lot of call options being bought today. We're at 78 RSI with a resistance at 419.40. The 420 puts, though, are pretty expensive at 150 right now, 154. So by the end of the day, you would need this to drop below the Fibonacci at 418.21. Tesla's starting to pull back a little bit from 190, but not much yet. Isn't there room to run if we do get the debt ceiling? Probably. Probably. I would expect us to probably hit the monthly high from a few days ago at 420.87. If they don't go through, though, I'm still thinking that we're going to be below 418.21. VIX looks like the VIX looks like Wile E. Coyote running off a cliff. Damn. Q's up 1.7%. No stopping. We've only had one red candle for the 5-minute chart all day. There's so much volume. Crazy, crazy day. Volume started to pick up shortly after we crossed 418.21. So yeah, momentum based on volume is going to continue up, but you're trading at 80 RSI. Jesus Christ. Can't believe people would take that much risk, but that's what the markets want. Risk, risk, risk. Damn. These calls, the 419 calls, have gone from 22 cents to $1.20. 400% in 1 hour. They're going for 115 right now. The last resistance at 1461, they were going at 85. Can't really tell what the upside potential is, just given that we haven't seen that yet today. If we do manage to go back to the highs at 420.80, let's see, these would gain another $1.60 intrinsic value. So maybe they'd be going for like 250 or so. But that's if you ride it all the way back to the top. Now even Nvidia's up 0.9%. This is the first pop that we've seen on Nvidia this morning. Do I think SPY will hit 420? I'm thinking by the end of the day it could hit 420.80. Would be my guess, depending on the debt ceiling talks. McCarthy says this is just a start generally on spending. McCarthy says not concerned about what people think in the deal. Thanks. Says progress made last night on the debt ceiling talks. Talks come down to one thing, which is spending. So he's not really giving us much insight into how far the deal has come along. He's just saying that they've been making progress, which has been like every day that he's been saying the same thing. So just past the 419.40 level though. Higher and higher and higher we go. Non-stop. Even IWM is up 1% now. Dow is up 1.2 and Qs is up 1.9. Jesus Christ. Can't believe that. All right. Well, these just popped like 15 cents. I don't think I want to get them for more than like $1.30, $1.35. They're going for $1.39 right now. McCarthy says, I have not spoken to Biden in 24 hours. Continue to work on the debt ceiling. We'll work until we get it done. So they're making progress, but he hasn't spoke to Biden. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm kind of doubtful that we're going to get it done today. If he hasn't spoken to Biden in 24 hours, that would lead me to believe that we wouldn't have a deal today. AMD to 130. What is it trading at now? 123, right? 125, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, at this rate, wouldn't expect much less. Even Bitcoin is going up a little bit today, up 1.4%. Really tempted to take the short trade since we don't have a deal yet. Maybe for Monday's expiration, though. Just give it a little bit more time. May 30th expiration puts... Thinking about the 418s. They're going for 167 right now. Lowest that they've gotten was 145 with that brand new high. I'd probably want to cut losses about 150 or so. They're already going for 170. The heck, man? Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to sell that put. Meaning to buy it. Alright. Got those at 170. Just bought a new SPY 418 put expiring 5/30 at 170. So catalyst on this trade, we don't have a deal for the debt ceiling. So my expectations would probably drop to 418 by the end of the day. So that's why I ended up choosing 5/30 next Monday's expiration instead of today. Obviously not a good trade with momentum being as hot as it is today. You're looking at 80 RSI. So lots of buying action, especially with all this volume. Makes it a very risky trade, but my guess if we don't have the deal, we'll be back to 418 sometime by the end of the day. Put these contracts back to, let's see, Delta's 39. We would need about $1 drop, so they would gain about 40 cents in value to about $2. Going live on Monday? Yeah. Absolutely, every day. Every day that the market's open, at least. May wait a little bit longer. Can't really blame you with this momentum. More confirmation would be nice, but no confirmation yet this morning. It's just been up, up, and away. The only sort of confirmation that I've got is the haven't spoken to Biden in 24 hours from McCarthy. Q is up 2% now. Jesus. There's literally one red candle for the 5-minute chart all morning. It's been an hour and a half with one red candle. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy market. Oh, yeah, sorry. Tuesday. You're right. Forgot about Memorial Day. The Dow is pulling back a little bit here. This one's finally losing some momentum, but it's still 70 RSI, so very bullish. IWM was up 1%. Now it's only up 0.8. So this one's losing momentum too. So now you need Qs to start losing momentum to see SPY coming back down. But like I said, every 5 minutes has been green for the first hour and a half of this market so far. So a lot of buying action going. Non-stop today. All right, getting a little bit of a pullback, but back to the bottom of the range for the past, what has it been, 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Yeah, IWM is a loser so far, down from 1% to only up 0.7% now. Almost back down to 175.21 again. We had a little 40-cent drop in SPY. And now it might get bought back up. Just going back and forth in the range for right now for the past 15 minutes. So I could have bought those puts a little bit cheaper at 150, 154 right now. Q's back up to 2. Still no red candles besides at 9:55. Crazy day. Unbelievable rally. Yeah, SPY hit resistance for 1950-ish. Q's on the other hand doesn't want to stop. Q seems to be really the only thing that matters lately too. The only thing that's been going up nonstop, and that's just kind of what's been floating SPY. We're stalling out here for SPY, but Q's is still up by 2.05 almost. So you need to pull back on Q's to get SPY to bring down. Pull back here. Really want to go long Q's, but with no pullback inside, it's hard to get a good price on these. The only decent opportunity to the long side right now would be IWM, but you would need the bull market to broaden for IWM to go up. Dow looks to be gaining some support at about 331 too. I wouldn't trade DIA calls though, just because the bid ask is kind of wide on them. Not many people trade DIA. Poof. AMD's at 126 now. Damn. 5% today. There's just no profit takers for Qs at all. Amazon is a leader today, up 4% to 119. Jesus. Wow. 4% in one day. It's a $1 trillion company, so that's $40 billion in market cap in one day. No earnings, no nothing. Just that support at 115. That's all they needed. All right, we're slowing down for Qs. Not by much. Very sketchy, yeah, to say the least. But every big name besides Google is up by more than 1.5%. $2.08 for Qs now. SPY up 1.2% to 419.70, 419.60. So maybe this is where you start to see a pullback, but man. Well, we've had one actually neutral candle and one red candle for Qs today. Looking at the hourly chart, I can only imagine this is the biggest green candle. Let's see. It's just about as big as it was for Nvidia post earnings. When it went from 331 to 336, 5 points. 343 to 346, 3 points. And I think those are the two biggest candles that we've seen for the entire month. Yeah. If it does reverse, that's the problem. You've got so much momentum piling into it, so much volume buying in, that it's hard to stop. It's like a runaway truck. All right, now we've got it pulling back a little bit. It's only up 2% now versus 2.08 at the top. So you might finally have a red candle forming. Can't imagine it would be very big, but we'll see. All right, right, finally got some profit takers. They sent it to 346.50 before they took profits. All right, well, we might have a reversal in play. Second red candle, second red 5-minute candle for an hour and a half of trading though. So the trend has been your friend all morning until maybe now. $191. Market hates you. Yeah, let's see. Tesla's at 191. Still think that it could hit 188 by the end of the day. But you need to pull back for everything else for that to play out. And with Q's up 1.9%, that's a hard sell. But yeah, finally got a pullback started on Q's. It's at 81 RSI, so it's still very bullish. And SPY just went below 419 too. So market's finally coming back to a little bit of reality. And again, I think if we don't have a debt ceiling deal by the end of the day between McCarthy and Biden, we're going to get back to 418, which is about $1 away or so. So I'm going to wait on that, see if we get any deal by the end of the day, and that'll probably be all my trading for today. I got those SPY puts at 418 strike price on 5/30 Tuesday's expiration. Still got some puts for AMD and Microsoft that are getting hammered right now because Q's is rallying that like no other. But hopefully we get a pullback if we don't get the debt ceiling talks figured out by the end of the day. And that'll be that. And I'll catch y'all on Tuesday at 9:30. See you, everybody.